Yeah, I think this is a very difficult approach to talk about what kind of economic contribution migrants have, because then it's again, how do you legitimize being in that country? Whereas you should also, as a migrant, be allowed to be jobless and then still be accepted as part of society, as every other part of society is. But what I think is, and that's why I did not first want to comment on this, because I think in Germany I would not be able to benchmark economy or economic issues as sort of a swift switch in the debate or twist in the debate of how you would approach immigrants. I think it's more in general in Germany on identity, because unlike in the UK or in the US, it's not an inclusive definition of what German is. It's more of an exclusive definition. So we know what German not is. We know it's not being Turkish, we know it's not being Muslim, but we don't know what it is. So when you ask immigrants to integrate, they're sort of like, okay, what can I do? And yeah, ask a 10-year-old Turkish immigrant child to integrate into German society and would not know what to do. There's no such checklist of, that you can just tick, and then in the end you will be accepted by everyone in that society as a German. Now that we do not have that yet. We do not have a positive definition of what kind of values you have to have, of what kind of things you have to feel, or like speaking German, and these kind of things. We don't have that yet. And so you've briefly touched on the Leitkultur. I think this is I would not agree with Bassam, but I think we in Germany at least have to talk about what we want people, what we want German to be, and where we then will accept everyone, no matter how they look, no matter what religion they belong to, what ethnic background they have, that we will accept those people as normal Germans.
I think that's a really good point. I think societies where we think about integration as being successful, kind of nation building and recognition of minority difference have gone hand in hand. Now, speaking about the UK, I think it would be very hard to imagine Britain as an idea, as a national identity, as a contemporary nation, if you think Britain is a nation, without kind of having a very strong kind of presence of ethnic minorities within it. I mean, it's implausible now. I think it wasn't implausible when I was a kid, but it goes to show how quickly these kind of things can be reimagined. I mean, the Olympics this summer expressed or gave an outward expression of what we've known Britain to be since the mid-90s and the late 90s. And I guess that's the tension, where there's not an open debate, where certain kind of touchstones of who we are off limits. They're not up for negotiation. In the UK, past experience with migrants prior to people who came from the former colonies after the war, especially the experience of Catholic minorities and Jewish minorities, it really set the scene for certain kinds of modes of integration which have continued to blossom. They haven't been without tension, often conflict, violent conflict in fact, when you think about some of the riots in the early 80s. But we've got there. We've got there.